Part 2. So the catamaran was really, really fun. I would do that again, absolutely, hands down. I absolutely loved it. I'm horrified of water, but I'm so amazed by it. So once I got used to everything, I finally kind of let myself go, and I got to drift a little bit in the sea. And I also put a snorkel on, but not in my mouth, because baby, them motherfucking snorkels is nasty and dirty. I said, I ain't putting that in my mouth. I take the goggles. But I finally got under the water, and I looked, and I'm like, oh, I can't touch the ground, and that looked far away. So it was really, really scary, but really, really beautiful at the same time. And it started raining while we were in the water. So once it started to get heavy, we got back on board. I honestly sat outside on the catamaran in a beanbag, and I enjoyed the rain. But then it got too real. It started to hail, and then it got really rocky. We were supposed to get off at Rick's Cafe to go eat seafood, by the sea. But the waves were way too rocky, so we couldn't, disembark, they said. So we got to ride back about another 30 minutes to where we started from, so we can go to Rick's Cafe. Mind you, it was extremely rainy, and the waves was doing their motherfucking thing. It was choppy, the boat was rocking, and the crazy part is, I wasn't scared. My life jacket had already been off. I was standing up, rocking and rolling. I was trying to ride the waves. No, legit. I literally, once I got comfortable, because at first, I ain't gonna lie, I was scared. I didn't even want to sit on the deck part where they have the wraparound seats with the rails. I didn't even want to sit out there when I first got on. I said, nah, hell nah, I ain't ready for that. So I sat in the middle where it was sunken in. And then once I got comfortable, I was standing up, and the whole trip back, I was just standing up, riding the waves. I'm like, oh, this is peaceful. This is nice. It was an experience, and it's an experience that I would love, 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 love to do again. I don't regret not doing the horseback or the ATVs, because honestly, I don't want to ride a horse. I don't want to swim with the dolphins. The ATVs, I did want to do. But I'm like, if I got to do the rest of it and pay for the rest of it and not just this one separate thing, then I don't want to do it. So that's why I didn't. But I was looking at, the land that they did it on. I'm like, this ain't even no path. This is just open field. I assumed we were going to be, going through, some type of jungle. Not jungle, but, a parkway thing where it's, trees and there's a path or something. I don't know. But that wasn't what I expected, so I was happy I didn't. Woo. Another thing. Oh, my gosh. If you think y'all drive crazy here in America, go to Jamaica. Jamaicans drive crazy and confident about it. These motherfuckers be on your ass, on your left, on your right, on top of the motherfucking cars, just driving. They will go the wrong way down the street to get past your ass in a motherfucking heartbeat. In and out of traffic, slow, fast. When we were leaving the street light, didn't work. It was so much traffic. It was officers in the middle of the street, in the middle of the day, doing hand signals and shit. And I'm like, Lord, this shit crazy, because these motherfuckers barely want to listen and actually follow the rules. When the lights say red, they ain't gonna listen to your ass. And they wouldn't. They will cut in front of you. They driving is crazy. They driving is crazy, and I feel like I wasn't surprised we didn't see no car accidents when we was there, because their driving was legit fuck it. Fuck it. They was driving wild confidently though. Anyways, so we did that in the grill, the catamaran in the grill. Had a good time. what I will say is, when you go outside of the resort, they will bug you to death about buying something. When you walk down the little street with all the shops, they will literally pull you in to make you look at their stuff. Now, the first couple shops, I did that. You know, the first shop we went to, we parked. I think the place was Habaneros or something like that. I bought me some shorts. I bought like a jersey. I bought a little cross backpack. And I bought 2 scarves. So I bought some stuff. And so I was cool. Second store, you know, they're like, hey, come in, come in. I went in, looked around. Okay, this is pretty much the similar stuff that I just seen. Cool, whatever. Go to the next store. Same stuff. Literally the same exact stuff. So now on down the street, you know, I'm kind of over going into the shops because they literally do have the same stuff. But they're all different people trying to sell you the same stuff, kind of like aggressively. Hey, come into our shop. Hey, you said you would come into our shop. This is black owned. This is this. This is that. We have this for that and that. Yeah, this, that. Now, I get that. You want us to buy because, you know, I guess you think that's what we're here for, is to buy, and you want our money. But the fact that all of the stores literally have the exact same merchandise. Now, mind you, some have more merchandise than others, but I promise you, you will probably see the same shirts or the same bags or the same this or that. And they will be offering you weed on down the street. It will be 2 guys offering you weed or trying to follow you on WhatsApp or find you on Instagram or trying to figure out what type of transportation they get. And don't fuck around and give the number out, because when you give them their WhatsApp, they will call you and call you and call you. My thing, the only reason I gave my Instagram and my little WhatsApp shit out is because I want connections in Jamaica, but with legit people. Not because y'all trying to sell me stuff and have me spend my money. I'm trying to find some roots here. But it's like, man, you go outside that resort, it's a wrap, because they gonna hound you. At least when you get on that little strip a couple minutes outside the resort, they're gonna hound you. They're gonna ask you about weed. They're gonna ask you if you want more. They're gonna ask you, you want to see the bracelets. They're gonna put the bracelets on you, and you already telling them, yo, no thank you, my money was stolen, I don't want it. And then after my money was stolen, and then I was, you know, I wasn't spending on nothing else, it's a wrap, because I was going to use cash, obviously. So after you tell them, they be like, oh, we take Venmo, we take this, we take that. No, ma'am, no, sir. That means I don't have it to spend. I'm not spending nothing else, because what I had to spend is gone. So I'm not, no. And it's like, oh, okay, well, then they take the bracelets or take whatever off. It's like, well, we already told you no. Why would you even put it on? It was a lot of forced, you know, it was ads, basically. A lot of ads, forced ads. And they do this in Louisiana, I find, especially when you go on the strip. Bourbon Street, when you go on the strip and they got the shots and the girls damn near jack your ass up and shove a shot down your throat, then you gotta pay fucking $20 to $40 for something you didn't even want. It's kind of like that. You know, except they not forcing the fucking merchandise on your body. If they could, I'm probably sure they would. So I don't want to say I didn't expect that, but I kind of did, because I always do a bit of research. So I kind of, you know, watch different videos from different people that's traveling in different places. And, you know, I would see that sometimes they'll be in the street selling you something. If you stuck in the car and you got the guy with the mangoes on his head, or the guy with the CDs, or the other guy with the bags. These people are right in the middle of the street. And I already told you they drive crazy. They barely got lines on the road. They don't really have street signs for real, not many, and the street lights are sometiming. So it's like, these guys in the middle of the road got trust. Because, yeah, they will try to sell you anything, anything. So I don't want to say it threw me off, because it really didn't throw me off, but the amount of times they asked me to purchase something like weed, or, they try to take me into the store, and I'm like, I already spent my money, I already got, but at some point, I just found myself going into certain shops just because the ladies or whatever were like begging. And then one lady was like, I was like, yeah, my money was stolen, and the rest of my money, whatever, is at the hotel. My car's at the hotel, blah, 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 blah. She was like, oh, well, we can come to the hotel. And I was just like, oh, no. No, babe, we're not doing that. It's because it's not that serious. You're not about to come to my hotel after I just told you what it was. Because if I wanted it, I would just come back here. You feel me? Or figure it the fuck out. But no. So it's just like, yeah, I can do without that. But Jamaica itself is a beautiful place. If you're a tourist, they're going to want you to spend money. That is obvious. We went to, I think, Margaritaville. I didn't eat anything because at that point in time, I wasn't hungry. And it's like, well, we're at an all-inclusive resort. I'm not about to spend money for food and drinks here just to not eat when I get back for something that's free. I'm good, thanks. Plus, the meal was, like, super expensive. And then when people got their food, it was like their food was wrong. It was nasty. It wasn't made right or something. And it was expensive. And I'm like, well, yeah. I don't know. It just seemed like service outside of the resort was a little bit like, we're going to only be nice to you because we want you to spend money. And that was more so, like, I don't know if it was just the women, because we found a few men who was kind of crabby. But the majority of the men were super, super nice and flirty. And it wasn't just towards us. I've noticed, like, they're just being really hospitable to people. So I'm just like, yeah, I just eat at the resort. So whatever. They can be a bit pushy when it comes to spending your money. So what I would say is, I guess, don't bring a bunch of money. I wasn't showing off my money or anything like that, but like, if you know you only going to the little strip because you want this and that, be sure to have a plan in mind and only go for this and that. I knew I wanted to buy some type of souvenir, and I had already wrapped up in my head what I wanted to buy, so I wouldn't be in there and they trying to show me a million things. Because when I was in there, she was showing me a million and trillion things. And then she started doing taste testing of wines. They got this wine that was so good. I think it's called Big Black or something. And it tastes like chocolate, and it was so good. She was like, yeah, you could take X amount of ounces of this on the plane. And I'm like, oh, really? Okay. So honestly, they're doing all of this because they want you to buy. They want you to purchase. We walked in, they said everything you buy is 50% off. And they held their end. They held their end of the bargain. And I got a couple items, and it didn't come up to much. I expected it to be more, but with that 50%, it really helped. So some of the stores, if not all, will bargain or barter and whatnot with you. It may not be one flat price, but the goal is to get a sale off. But they have good hospitality as far as some of the stores. Like the first store we went into was really, really cool, which is where I bought all my stuff. they gave us like 3-4 different shots of different liquors, and it was very, very good. And I'm like, oh wow, well, this is pretty cool. So, it's just a different experience, for me. I've never been into a souvenir shop and received chocolate wine, so there's that. I'm trying to think, is there any more to say? What I will say is the activities. They say they have X, Y, and Z activities. They do have a board to list Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, what they got going on. A lot of the times we've noticed we tried to attend several events, and those events were not happening. We sat there at one beach to see if it was going on there. The reggae dance class, nothing happened. We went to the other beach to see if the soca dance class was going on. Nothing happened. A lot of the times, things were dead on the resort. Now, I don't know what a good season or a good time would be to go where there's a lot of people, but when I went, it kind of seemed like it was a bit dead. Now, towards the middle, it started to pick up a lot, but once I got there, it was like a lot of people just, I guess, are in their rooms or something, because at the swim up bar, it was a couple people, but it wasn't a lot going on. They need legit activities. They had a little fashion show because, again, they wanted people to purchase with a couple % off. But it's like, we need more activities. Y'all said the DJ was going to be out here, and he's packing up his shit. Like, I don't know. The activities could have been a lot better, or the times could have been a lot better. They had a lot of stuff going on, like, super early during the day. Like, from 10 in the morning to, like, 3 p.m. is when all the stuff would begin and end. And so it was like, well, damn, so we got to get up hella early to go to the DJ shit and have a drinks with the swim-up bar and all of this and that. It was like towards the evening was absolutely nothing. It was nothing. And I figured, like, well, I would assume that it would be some type of something popping off, but it wasn't. But I'm like, okay, well, we could do better with that. But I will say, oh my gosh, I had too much motherfucking club. And what is it? Club Desire. That was so fun. At first, I was a bit shaky. I'm like, ooh, this ain't gonna be any good. But then once the DJ got comfortable, he was playing all the old school shit, all the early 2000s hip-hop and R&B and a little bit of the new and all of that. And I was happy, and I got tipsy, and I was doing motherfucking choreography and then some in that bitch. Woo, I had too much fun. I will say, whoever was the DJ that night, at After Dark, Club Desires at Secrets Resort, St. James, Montego Bay, Jamaica, baby, you was rocking. Because you had not only me rocking, but it was this Asian couple, and the girl, she was feeling herself because she was moving and grooving and rapping and shit the whole night. Her man couldn't even keep up. After a while, the club started getting more crowded. People started coming in. A little bit of people would dance. It was what it was. I give that an A+. Like, the club part, I would do that again too. The catamaran, yes. The club, yes. The buffet, yes. Margaritaville, no. Honestly, if you want like touristy stuff, like shorts and things that say Jamaica and all of that stuff, bandanas and stuff, you could probably just wait and spend your money at the airport, at the Jamaica airport, because they got to stand with literally all of that stuff. You may be able to skip the strip, but if you do go to the strip, that's a yay or nay for me. Just know what you want when you going, or else you're gonna get stopped like 1,000 times. I seen they did have a dispensary, but by the time I seen that, it was too late, and I was on my way to the airport. But I did buy some Jamaican weed, and I had my cousin roll it up, and it was pretty good, actually. At first, I was skeptical. She was telling me it was mid or Reggie because they don't like their weed as strong as us. And the weed actually did its job, and it lasted damn near all trip. So that was a thing. I got to smoke Jamaican weed in Jamaica on the beach several nights with purple drinks and Bob Marley colored drinks and daiquiris. And I had a ball. I had such a fun time. I did have that incident that happened. That did put a damper on the trip. But overall, I appreciated everything about the trip. I appreciated the people that were nice and sweet and gave me the good service, everybody that I met out there. I'm trying to go again. I actually want to live out in Jamaica, or at least live close enough to where the plane ride isn't but like 1 or 2 hours. I gotta be there. I gotta have it. It was goats everywhere, cows everywhere, little lambs everywhere. Like, it was people on their little motorcycles just living their life, peaceful. I don't know. I loved it. That's what I know. I want to go again. I actually am definitely going to move somewhere closer so I can go to Jamaica more often. What would I give Secret St. James, the resort itself? By the way, I thought we were going to have liquor in our rooms. We did have a mini bar with just like drinks and beer, but we did not have the vodkas and the tequilas and the rum like I figured we would for Secrets. Maybe that's a preferred thing or something else. I don't know. I was expecting it, didn't get it, but needless to say, we still got shots when we needed them, even if they didn't want to pour us the double shots or the triple shots, you feel me? We got them anyway. I would say I would give the resort, this is kind of hard. I'll give the resort a C+. So that may be like a 3 or 3.5. It's like a C+ is what I'm going to give Secret St. James. Only because with my money being stolen and then them kind of getting back to me late and not having any type of real resolve, I don't know. And the few small things in the room, like, I don't know. I want to say a C+, but then I kind of want to give it a 3.5 or a 4. But I'm like, nah. So we're going to go 3.5. I give Secret St. James a 3.5 stars out of 5. And that's because the service was so damn good. Like, I'm not 100% sure who stole my money. And I'm also not 100% sure if the way they are portraying to us or acting, if that's really them genuinely. I don't know what kind of people these are. But I will say the majority of the men that I talked to that were working at this resort did an A+ fucking job. They did a good job. Now, the women, again, they were a little testy because they weren't as friendly. Fine, but the men, they really went out of their way. So, with that being said, yeah, that's what gives this the boost that it gets. Because, I mean, honestly, it's not really the resort's fault that I lost my money. It's not. But at the end of the day, y'all should at least let me look at the cameras or find some type of footage or do something, because you got these CCTVs. Then what are they here for? Let's and then you come back to me late when I'm at the, out all day when you, So, yeah, a 7, I'm not a 7, girl, what? I need to go, yeah, I need to go. Again, this is part 2. I'm giving Secret St. James my stay in Montego Bay, Jamaica, June 1st to June 7th, 2025. By the way, it was cold. It was a bit cold at times. I did get a nice tan too. I'm real dark and crisp, and I love it. Like, I came back feeling like a whole motherfucking goddess, princess of the sun, because I love it so much. Anyways, 3.5 again. Yeah, I'm playing, y'all. 3.5 out of 5 stars. For me, I think it's like a C+ for Secret St. James. I do want to go again. Next time I go, I'm going to make it hella better, because we're going to do this shit right. And I'm going to know a lot more. And I'm going to continue to use that goddamn room safe, baby. All right, y'all. Have y'all been to Jamaica? Later.